The clinic here in Santa Clotilde has 40 beds. They have a coverage area of 300 miles of river. In the area, there are 30,000 people. In this clinic, there are 4 doctors. It adds up to 1 doctor for 5,000 people. The doctors here tell me they want to keep this hospital running. They need donations, and they need as many resources as they can get. In the middle of a hospital, while husband and wife medical team Brian Metternach and Tony Lulo see patients, these brothers use the outdoor hallways of the Centro de Salud Santa Clotilde as their own personal soccer fields. They act like kids. Boom.
Boom.
Learn silly greetings and drink boiled, clean water. Clean water. To us, it's never even an afterthought. We turn on our tap, our water is fresh, it's simple. But in Santa Clotilde, nothing comes easy. And keeping locals from drinking dirty water is a constant battle. So imagine if just having clean water is difficult, what it takes to run a hospital.
So we'll just go behind them below.
Right. With books in hand, they are doctors where on-the-job training and how fast they can learn could be the difference between life or death. Working in sandals, they clean Otenil Yumbo Kundi's wound. Kundi was hunting monkeys when he became the hunted.
There was a trap set, and what the trap is to capture animals or to kill animals so they can eat. So it's a shotgun with a cable tied to it, and then as the animal crosses the path, they'll set the cable off and the shotgun goes off. He's unlucky that he went into the trap, but he's lucky that the pellets went to one specific point in his heel instead of all over his leg.
Kandi says he got to his boat, laid on his back, and paddled 3 hours by himself in the dead of night up the Napo River, finally arriving at his mom's hut at 5 in the morning. She tried herbal remedies. Nothing worked. Finally, when he reached the clinic, he'd lost a lot of blood.
Gracias a los doctores por mi curación.
In Santa Clotilde, time seems to stop, and for Mirela Sikiwa, it did, when she was just a whisper away from death. Mirela didn't say much, but she didn't have to. Her face says it all. She is embarrassed. Her leg is gone. Mirela's mother says she was bit at school. It took 2 days to get to the clinic. By then, her leg was black. It's hard for this mother to talk about the day her daughter was bit by a pit viper, but she knows there was no time to waste. Take the leg or bury her daughter. Mirela waits for a new prosthesis since she grew out of her old one. It took 3 days before she got over her shyness, but finally showed us her amputated leg.
No puede caminar por su dolor.
Clemenzia was also bit by a pit viper. She got to the hospital in time for doctors to save not only her life, but her leg.
Every day we can probably save a life.
Brian and Tony gave up their lives in Chicago to help Peruvians for the reason you just heard, to save lives.
We have that common bond of humanity, and we recognize that, and we recognize them, and that's what we're here for, is to help them.
But help could disappear, and Brian's goal now isn't just to be a doctor, it's to be a fundraiser and to convince people back home in the United States that what he's doing isn't just some extended vacation in the jungle.
And a lot of people say, oh, well, there's poor people in the U.S., and there are, and there's need in the U.S., but you have to come and see what the needs really are. Like I said, a lot of people can get an ambulance, they can get to the nearest ER. Here, there's nothing, so the need is even greater.
Meet Marta Luz Hipa Sikiwa, a baby who would not be alive if it weren't for the clinic.
Que opere, o no. Yo dije que no. Porque su madre me dice, no, si no operamos tu mujer y tu bebé, de pronto muere. ¿Y yo cómo voy a hacer? Voy a llevar un muerto, ¿no? Mejor.
Martha's father allowed doctors to perform a cesarean. During the delivery, his wife could only force out a left hand.
Tanto que mueren o no mueren, vivo o no. Estaban pensando yo.
Y un día de más trabajo respirando.
Brian spoke very little Spanish when he got to Peru. Now he leads rounds, and behind his smile is a very serious man.
Here, we're the end of the line.
He knows his work is important.
You realize that if you weren't here, people are dying. And so it's kind of a good feeling, a rewarding feeling, but it's also a responsibility that you feel too. That, you know, you have to work every second, or you have to be available because if you don't, then somebody could die.
The clinic needs a solar panel, among other things, to keep cultures. Promptly at 10 every night, the electricity is turned off, and pitch black doesn't even begin to describe how dark it gets.
When we get the knock on the window at 2 in the morning that there's somebody, that there's an emergency here, or a baby who's not breathing well, we kind of look at each other and, you know, if he's tired, I'll get up and go. Or if I'm tired, he'll get up and go.
Night or day, this couple laugh together, work together, and they sacrifice together. They have no air conditioning, no hot water, and are thousands of miles away from family. But Brian and Tony say they wouldn't have it any other way. The best reward of all for them comes with 2 simple words.
Gracias. Gracias a ellos que hacían salvar su vida de mi esposa. Pido un gran servicio que me hicieron salvar la vida, tanto su mamá y su hijita.
Reporting from Peru, Mike Paluska.